The overall concept is the inability to achieve one's personal ambitions. And there's a couple different things that the scholars talk about with regards to this particular challenge. They say that it can lead to, or that it's kind of formed by a combination of three things. Number one is, they say, عدم الرضاء بالقسمة الإلهية, that there's an absence or a discontent with happiness and with gratitude about what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has portioned for you. So they say that the fundamental misunderstanding that leads to this is what? A big misunderstanding about what Allah has portioned out for you. So imagine like you're in a buffet line and you see somebody ahead of you getting a little bit of the food, and then you're like, oh no, I hope I get more than that. And then you're next, and then this is like giving Ramadan vibes already. May Allah Ta'ala give us Ramadan. And then you get like a nice big heaping, right, spoonful, and you're like, yes. And then you look behind you and they give them 2 spoons. And you're like, what? Right? It's interesting because when you were comparing what you had to the person in front of you, you were so happy and you were so content. But then the moment that you looked back and you saw that the person behind you got more than you, all of a sudden what you were given was not enough. And you didn't even think about what the first person was given to begin with. Another disease that kind of builds up this problem is the spiritual disease of hasad, of envy, which all of us are very afraid of. The Prophet ﷺ said that the evil eye is true. Al-ainu haq, he said. It is what it is, okay? So we do have to be aware of it. But you know what's crazy? Is that when we read that hadith, that the evil eye is true, we always read it from the lens of that we are the ones who are sort of subjected to it, and we don't read it from the lens of we could be the perpetrators, right? So hasad is a very real disease, and we should be afraid of hasad, but we also should be afraid of being the hasid, the one who's actually like the doer of it. That's actually way more scary and way more concerning. If somebody gives you hasad, nazar, okay, you just read some, you just read your calls, right? You take care of business, you make dua, you read Ayatul Kursi, you're good. Allah will protect you from people, inshallah. But imagine being afflicted with the disease of envying other people. That's way more challenging. And the next complex that leads to this problem is tawaqquf ala al-ahlam, that a person is fixated on their dreams. And one way to describe this is like they're completely inflexible. They're not willing to even consider alternate paths. No, this is what I want, and this is all I want. I'm not changing my mind. It is what it is. Okay? So the scholar writes, Sheikh Ramadan, the author of this book, he writes that these 3 things combine and they form this horrible, horrible complex that people struggle with, and this is why it affects them so deeply, right? Emotionally, spiritually, and then eventually physically, right? It can actually become a problem.